Today we're talking about factoring polynomials that are quadratic in form. What that means is that they don't necessarily have a power of 2, they will have a different exponent. For example, they might have x to the 4th or x to the 6th. But if you look at these, what we're looking for is that this middle exponent is going to be half of what you see in front. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, because in quadratic form, when we have this, ax squared plus bx plus c, you have half here, and then this is a constant at the end. So that's what we're looking for. One quick thing to note before we move on to some examples is that power of x is a perfect square if the exponent is divisible by 2. Power of x is a perfect cube if it's divisible by 3. So that's things like divisible by 2, meaning like x squared, x to the 4th, x to the 6th, x to the 8th, etc. Those are perfect squares. And then perfect cubes are things like x to the 3rd, x to the 6th, x to the 9th, etc. I'm going to show you a strategy today called U substitution. I actually don't care if you use it or not. If it's helpful for you, great. If it's not, then pretend I never said anything about it. What we can do when we have these higher exponents, and this is half, if it's quadratic in form, and you got the constant at the end, then you could do U substitution. I can say, okay, U is equal to x squared, which is this guy right here. Then I replace those. I replace into x, so it becomes this. Then you can factor it like normal. Two numbers that multiply to negative 18, add to negative 17. Do your thing, and once you get it actually factored, which is what you see here, then you replace back the x squared into that u spot, which is why it then becomes x squared again, and this one goes factor one more time because you have difference of squares. So then this is your final answer. What it does initially is it makes the problem maybe more simple to work with when you factor like a normal quadratic trinomial. I don't know if it actually makes it less confusing, which is why I usually don't do it, but I will do one example of it. So on number 13, I do have a typo. This should be x. If we look for a GCF first, that would give me 3x squared. So bring that out in front and divide it out. When you divide, you subtract your exponents. So it's x to the 6th, it's 5x to the 3rd, plus 6. We are going to have to factor this again, because what I need you to notice is that this is quadratic in form. U substitution is completely optional. I do not care if you use it or not. So this is optional, but we're going to write it down as an example. So this is an example of U substitution. And I'll do it kind of out to the side, okay? So leave space for number 14, but I'll do it right here. So we're going to take what I just highlighted in the parentheses. After you take the GCF, we know that this is quadratic in form because of a couple things. You have 6 and 3, and that is half. You also have a constant at the end of 6. So ax squared plus bx plus c, it's kind of in that same form. You can factor it with the x thing. But if you want to do U substitution, we're going to do that over here. It would be so x to the 6th plus 5x to the 3rd plus 6. What you're going to do is you would say, okay, this is my U. So U is equal to x to the 3rd. For some people, this does help, like make it look a little bit easier. So I replace it with x to the 3rd with u, which means that my equation now becomes, if I replace into these spots, it would become u squared plus 5u plus 6. And that's something that's actually quadratic, okay? I'm going to do the x over here to the left because even if you didn't do u substitution, you would have to do this. So two numbers that multiply to 6 and add to 5, because that's our c and b. 3 and 2. So on the side where I have u substitution, that means it would become, because u is 1 in the beginning, or a is 1, sorry, it would be u plus 3, u plus 2. But you know that you swapped out x to the third with u, and so you would then go back and replace into those spots with x to the third. So I don't know if it makes it easier. It might make it more complicated, which is why I don't usually do it. But if it helps you handle things with higher powers and replace it out, or like take out the higher power in the middle, replace it with u's, and then plug back in at the end. So you'll see on the left side, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm not going to use u's, because you know that the two numbers that multiply to 6 and add to 5 are 3 and 2. All you got to do is take half of this 6. You can't do x and x because that would, x times x is x squared. So to get x to the 6, you have to do x to the third times x to the third. So that's why we have to have 3x squared in front. You would do x to the third, shoot, running out of room. And then your two numbers. So that is, I'll do in blue. Two numbers were 3 and 2. And so that means I have plus 3 plus 2. But I have to have x to the third power, otherwise it wouldn't multiply to x to the 6th. I want half of that. X to the third times x to the third is x to the 6th power. And that's as far as it goes. You can choose your own adventure. If you want to use u substitution, by all means go ahead. If it helps you, just replace out and then plug it back in at the end. For me personally, I don't really like it, so I usually will avoid it and just take half of the first term instead. What do you think? Does it have a GCF? No. 81 does not divide by 4 or 2 or any of those things, so there's no GCF. So now let's go here. Does it have 2 terms, 3 terms, or 4? 2, is it difference of squares, sum of cubes, difference of cubes? Difference of squares, right? Anytime you have a power 4, that counts as a difference, as a perfect square, because it's a multiple of 2. And then obviously 16 and 81. So you need to rewrite it like this. Squared. Squared. Think about what would need to go in those spots to make it 16x to the 4th, 81. So if I do 4x, that would just get me 16x squared. So what does it need to be on that first term? 4x squared. If you need a visual, right, it's this, 4x squared twice. You can always like write it out and check it. That's how we get 16x to the 4th. And then our second term is 9 squared. This is your A and your B. This is an example of difference of squares. So now to do this, it's just 4x plus 9, 4x minus 9. Oh, shoot, squared, right? I almost lost it. 4x squared plus 9, 4x squared minus 9. And this is why what we're doing in like the last week is a little bit complicated, because it's called factoring completely. So you can't stop here if you have something that still factors. This parentheses can be factored again. You have 2 terms, a minus sign. What is this an example of? Difference of squares, again. Wow. I know you're excited. So now we're going to do it again. And you see a lot of this on Delta Math, but saying it's wrong. If you have something like x squared minus 1 or 4x squared minus 9, it's because it's not done. You have to do it again. So let's rewrite this as something squared minus something squared. We know the square root of 4 is 2, so it's 2x squared And the square root of 9 is 3, so it's 3 squared. So 2x squared minus 3 squared. And now we're going to factor it one more time. So this first parenthesis stays. That is not a difference of squares because it has a plus sign. But then the second one factors as 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. Now you're done. So we are always checking for difference of squares. That's the one that's going to come up the most often in this class and in this unit. So you need to start recognizing it quickly. 5, 25, and 30 all divide by 5. And you can also take out x squared. Okay, so make sure you don't get rid of your GCF. You just put it out in front. And then we'll divide it. Tell me if this sounds right. X to the 4th minus 5x squared plus 6. You're left with something that has 3 terms, so you need to be really sure you stop there. You need to check this. Because this is quadratic in form, you have x to the 4th, and this guy is half of that. And then you have a constant at the end. So that's why we can go ahead and play the x game and treat it like we would normally. Even though it's got a higher power of 4, still the same game. Multiply to 6, add a negative 5. Okay, what is that? Negative 3 and negative 2. So you have to have 2 negatives to multiply to a positive and add to a negative. So negative 3, negative 2. And this is where we're not going to use U substitution because you can use your brain. You have to multiply to x to the 4th power out in front, which means you can't just do this. Doesn't work. Because if you multiply x times x, what do you get? X squared. So what do you need it to be? You have to have 2 of the same thing. What do you need it to be? Be x to the 4th squared. So you take half. Or essentially, right, what's in the middle? X squared. It's this one. Tells you what to do. And then because you are so savvy, you know to check for difference of squares. You have some subtraction signs and some squares, so you got to be careful. Do you have difference of squares? Is 3 a perfect square? When I say that, I mean this one. Is 3 a perfect square? 2 a perfect square? So no, you're off the hook. You're done. Woo! We like that. Just because it's a minus sign, we've got a squared right here, doesn't mean it is. You have to check both terms. And this, we practiced this some yesterday. What to the 3rd power minus what to the 3rd power, because you have a minus sign. Rewrite it. And we are doing this. Ooh, fun. You're doing this pattern. AB, A squared, AB, B squared, soap. Do you remember this? Okay. You just got to figure out what goes in the parentheses first. Okay. X. If you just put x here, do you get x to the 6th? No. And that's the problem. So what do you need to put in the parentheses to make it be x to the 6th? Ooh, it's squared. Here's why. It's squared and not cubed. I'll write it out so you can see it. X squared times x squared times x squared. When you multiply, you add your exponents, so that gets me x to the 6th. When you see power to a power right next to each other, you multiply. So essentially what you're doing is dividing it by 3, because you need 3 of the same thing. So it is x squared, and then your second term should be, obviously we know, 2. So can you see if you can fill in the blank for me here? AB, A squared, AB, B squared, and then do the same opposite, always positive. You did a lot of that last week. So x squared. I think. When you have a squared, you're doing x squared squared, which is fun. It's x to the 4th. And then 2x squared and 2 squared is 4. So your same, opposite, always positive. Remember, look back at your original sign. Same, opposite, always positive. You always check your first parentheses, especially when you have a squared here. Is this difference of squares? Is 2 a perfect square? No. So you don't have to do difference of squares. If it was 1, you would have to. Because 1's a perfect square, but 2's not. So hooray, you get to be done.